Sunday afternoon baseball from Bosse Field as the Otters go for a sweep of the Boomers. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Evansville, Indiana. Historic Bosse Field, a beautiful afternoon for baseball between two playoff contending teams with a month left to play in the Frontier League season, the Evansville Otters and the Schaumburg Boomers. I'm Griffin Epstein, joining you here on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. What a first 2 days for Evansville, coming from behind in the ninth inning yesterday to win, and then the Otters making a 4-run comeback yesterday to defeat Schaumburg 6-4. What a win for the Otters. They trailed by 4 runs in the fifth inning when chaos ensued. The Otters ended up plating 4 runs in the fifth to tie the game, and then Ethan Skinder would follow with a solo home run for Evansville. Go-ahead run in the seventh for the Otters, and Evansville would go on to win the game. Otters were still down by 2, and Schaumburg made not one but 2 throwing errors, and Jeffrey Baez, what looked to be a double play, ended up going all the way around the base. His throw was airmailed from the first baseman. Baez would stumble and fall down the line, but end up scoring. That was the tying run in the big 4-run fifth for the Otters after they were shut out to start against Luis Perez. And then Ethan Skinder continuing his hot last couple of weeks with a huge blast, clearing both billboard rows out in left field. That gave the Otters a 5-4 lead. They tacked on another run in the eighth, and Evansville go on to win 6-4 to take the first 2 games from Schaumburg. First time in a month that the Otters have taken the first 2 games of a series. What a turnaround from the start of the week for Evansville. They lost 2 of their first 3 of the week to Florence, giving the Alls their first series victory in a while. So time to meet the starting lineups in this Sunday finale. First for the Schaumburg Boomers, 42-28, and trying to avoid the first 3-game sweep of the season. Alec Craig, the shortstop, leads off for Schaumburg. Zach Huffins bats second and plays right field. Chase Dawson batting third, and DH Gage Howard in the cleanup spot and playing left field. Coco Figueredo bats fifth and plays second base. Kyle Fitzgerald batting sixth and playing first base. Bottom 3 in the Boomers lineup: Brett Malazzo, the center fielder, Travis Holt, the third baseman, and Jonathan Soto, the catcher. Hunter Hoops on the mound today for Schaumburg. He makes his 4th start of the season. Rookie from the University of Alabama, 2-0 with a 4.20 ERA. On the other side for the Evansville Otters, 39-31, and the Otters playing for a sweep today, trying to make just their 4th sweep of the season and their 2nd since May. Noah Myers leads off for the Otters and plays center field. Ethan Skinder bats second and plays shortstop. Dakota Phillips catching and batting third. Jeffrey Baez in the cleanup spot plays right field for Evansville. Kona Quiggle playing first again and batting fifth. Josh Braun in the 6th hole and playing third base. Bottom 3 in the Otters lineup: Brian Rosario, the left fielder, Justin Felix, the DH, and Austin Bose, the rookie, rounding out the lineup for the Otters and playing at second base. Braden Scott on the bump today for the Otters. Had to exit his last start with blisters on his throwing hand. He's 1-0 on 3 starts on the season with a 3.86 ERA. Sunny skies with some mixed clouds, not too humid. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. It's the first Sunday afternoon game for the Otters since June. Evansville going for the sweep, trying to get within 2 games of second place. Schaumburg, it should be a fun one. Baseball on the other side on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Would you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America's freedom, those who now protect it, and pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice with the singing of our national anthem this afternoon, performed by Rue Martin.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
Sunny Sunday afternoon baseball. Doesn't get much better than that. And Otters fans excited as Evansville goes for their first sweep of Schaumburg since 2019. Braden Scott on the bump for the Otters, making his second start of the week. Hoping for a better fate today. Things got off to a rough start for him on Tuesday. He gave up a 3-run home run to Florence in the first inning and then started dealing with blisters on his throwing hand. Had to exit in the third inning against Florence. Making his fourth start of the season, the Southpaw. 3.86 ERA overall. Earned a win in his second outing of this season and exited with the lead in his first outing of the year as well. 2 years in the Toronto Blue Jays organization, released in June, and now back with the Otters where he started his pro career in 2021. Feels like a good matchup, too, for Scott, a lefty pitcher, and he'll face 5 lefties today in the Schaumburg lineup. Around Scott on the diamond, Dakota Phillips catching, Kona Quiggle at first, Austin Boast at second, and Ethan Skinder at shortstop. Josh Brunn making his second start of the season at third base, with Yomar Reyes getting the day off for Evansville. Brad Rosario in left field, Noah Myers in center, and Jeffrey Baez in right today for the Otters, with Justin Felix DHing. Phillips catching Scott for the 4th straight time to start Scott's season. That pitcher-catcher battery powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Sun intermixed with some light clouds overhead. 85 degrees, not too humid compared to the last few days. 8-mile-per-hour winds blowing out straight away to center field. So balls may carry tonight. They did last night on a humid evening. But it is a lovely day for baseball. Some storms expected this evening, but we should, knock on wood, be done long before those roll into Evansville. Scott ready on the bump. Southpaw comes home. Alec Craig swings at the first pitch, pops it up into center, taking Noah Myers a few steps back and makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Braden Scott in the top of the first. Otters have not played a lot of early afternoon games of late. There are only 2 in the month of July were back-to-back games at Lake Erie, which they both lost. You have to go back to the end of June, the last time the Otters played a Sunday afternoon game. Zach Huffin shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike. A Florence Series finale on June 25th, the last Sunday afternoon game for Evansville. It's been a lot of Sunday evening games over the last couple months. 0-1, misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Otters are 9-10 this season in day games. Scott on the left side of the rubber delivers, inside 2-1. Fastball, cutter, slurve, and changeup, 4-pitch mix for Braden Scott. Didn't get into a great rhythm to start the game on Tuesday. Abe Richardson hit a 3-run home run off Scott. 2-1 slurve misses high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Settled down more in the second, but then started losing his command in the third inning. And Max Peterson knew something was up, came out to the mound, and Scott had blisters on his throwing hand and couldn't continue. The 3-1, swing and a miss on a fastball, and a full count to Huffins. Signed by the Otters on July 22nd and made his first start of this season that evening against Empire State. Huffins calls time to reset before the payoff pitch. Scott at the belt, big kick, delivers. Lined into left center field. Noah Myers a few steps over, makes the grab. 2 away for Scott in the top of the first.
Batting third, designated hitter 15, Chase Dawson.
2 away in the top of the first with nobody on. Brings up Chase Dawson, the DH for Schaumburg. Dawson led the Boomers offense yesterday, 2 for 4. He had a 2-run home run in the first inning. Had a base hit in the 4th and came around to score the final run of the game for Schaumburg. Frontier League All-Star, one of the best players in Boomers history. First pitch inside to Dawson, 1-0. Boomers career leader in total bases, broke the Frontier League triples record last year with 24 triples. In his 2nd straight year as an All-Star, and his 4th year in the orange and black. 1-0. Breaking ball on the outside corner, a strike to the lefty Dawson, 1-1. Scott at the belt, side steps, kicks, throws home. Slurve at the letters for a strike, 1-2. Chase Dawson turns around, asks Ty Umthank where they got the plate. Ty Umthank at home, Robert Davis at first, James Purnell at third base. 1-2. High, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Davis delivers. Fouled straight back. Dawson stays alive.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction.
Sun splashed in sunshine at the moment. No shadows at all as we're less than an hour past noon on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Quick turnaround from last night's game. Here's the 2-2 home. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Beautiful breaking ball freezes Dawson. An in-order inning for Braden Scott in the top of the first. No score on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Pizza's on the menu today for lunch for the Taroni's Pizza Race. We have Evan, Greg, and Hudson, and one of our honor bells that are going to race from the first base foul line to the third base foul line. Being the best pizza delivery people they can be. First one across the third base foul line is our winner. Racers, on your marks, get set, go! Hot day, hot pizza. It still works, especially from Taroni's. And the pizza's still gonna be warm too. All right, a great race from Evan, Grant, and Hudson, and of course our very own honor bell for the Taroni's Pizza Race. Back to you, Zane.
Thanks, Clay. Great to see you on this dog days this summer. Our pitcher catcher battery for the Schaumburg.
Bottom of the first inning for Bosse, scoreless between the Boomers and the Otters. Hunter Hoops making the start this afternoon for Schaumburg, right-handed pitcher making his 4th start of the season, 2-0 with a 4.20 ERA. Just finished his senior year at the University of Alabama. Helped make the Crimson make a run for the Crimson Tide to the Super Regionals in the NCAA tournament. He has been really strong through his first 3 starts, has earned wins his last 2 starts. And coming off a 6th-inning performance against Washington where he allowed just 2 hits and 1 run, 3 strikeouts. Oops, a talented rookie pitcher, native of Fairfax, Virginia. Around him on the diamond, Jonathan Soto catching for the first time today for Schaumburg. Kyle Fitzgerald at first, Coco Figueredo at second base, and Alec Craig at short. Travis Holt will man the hot corner at third, Gage Howard in left, Brett Milazzo in center, and Zach Huffins today in right field for the Boomers. Well, Prater's still out with a hand injury he suffered yesterday, so hold at third base. First pitch to the lefty Noah Myers, in for a strike at the letters. No score here in the bottom of the first. Braden Scott worked in order top half of the inning. Hoops on the right side of the rubber, flutters the glove and delivers. Beautiful breaking ball at the knees for a strike, 0-2. Crimson glove for Hoops certainly hasn't changed it from playing this past season with the Crimson Tide of Alabama. At the belt, delivers. Breaking ball outside, 1-2. Really good start to the pro career for Hoops. Hasn't allowed more than 3 earned runs in any of his 3 outings. It's just his 2nd start on the road of the season. 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Had a busy summer, too. Finished with Alabama and then was with the Danville Dans of the Prospect League before being signed here to the pros. 2-2. Outside and a full count. Hoops thought he had Myers rung up, but just outside. Now a payoff pitch coming. Hoops at the bounce. Kicks, throws, high for ball 4. Myers leads off for the Otters with a walk. Evansville tried to continue back-to-back great nights offensively. It was a rough start to the week for the Otters offense, but they've bounced back the last 2 games. 11 hits and 5 runs in the sudden death tiebreaker win on Friday, and then last night putting together 13 hits and 6 runs, all 6 runs coming in the 5th inning or later to mount a 4-run comeback, give the Otters the series victory. 1-0, nobody after Ethan Skinder shows bunt, pulls it back, pitch up in the zone, causes Skinder to crash down to the dirt all the way back to the backstop, and Myers goes down to second. Up near the head, and Skinder ducked all the way and got all the way down on the dirt. Wild pitch out of the arm of Hoops. Moves Myers to second. So Skinder trying to bump Myers over, and Hoops helps him out. Walks have been a little bit of an issue for Hoops so far this season. He has 8 of them all in the year in his first 15 innings. Pitch home. Beautiful breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Hoops started his career at UNC Asheville, then a year at John Logan Community College before the past 2 seasons with the Alabama Crimson Tide. 1-1. Breaking ball inside. Looked like it slipped out of the hand. 2-1. Boomers in their same uniforms as yesterday. Bright orange tops with Boomers written in black across the chest. Black numerals on the back. Black hat with an orange brim and the orange Schaumburg logo on the front. Gray pants with black piping. 2-1. Fouled straight back off the screen. 2-2. Otters who wore themed jerseys the first 2 nights. He is for everyone night on Friday. And then Star Wars light last night. Otters are in their home blues today with white lettering across the front and white numerals on the back. White pants with no piping, blue socks, and a black helmet for the Otters. 2-2 count to Skinder. Pitch home. At the knees, strike 3 called. Strikeout looking for Hoops and a big ring-up call from Ty Unthek. That was a good ring-up. 1 away. Myers at second, and it brings up Dakota Phillips. Was playing his walk-up strong Grove Street party by Waka Flocka earlier this morning, and Phillips walked out at perfect timing to hear his walk-up song playing and was delighted, throwing his hands up in the air, getting a little Sunday morning dance going. First pitch from Hoops to the lefty, sails outside for a ball. Phillips was 2 for 4 yesterday, including a double. Remains tied atop the Frontier League, 24 doubles, tied for the most in the league. A tie with Thomas Walraven of New York. 1-0, popped up high in the air into right center field. Milazzo carrying back at the warning track, makes the catch as he bumps into the wall. Wind is blowing out, and that ball started carrying towards the wall in a hurry. Milazzo making the catch along the track and bumping into the right center wall. 2 outs. Myers still at second as Jeffrey Baez walks into the right-handed batter's box. No score between the Otters and the Boomers in the bottom of the first inning. A lovely Sunday afternoon from the Pocket City. Baez was 0 for 4 yesterday, but talked about his crazy run around the bases in the pregame. He tops up the first pitch. In the left field sky, back the shortstop Craig to reach up and make the two-handed catch in shallow left. A leadoff walk by Hoops, but he gets out of it. No runs across in the first inning between the Otters and the Boomers on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Today we have Bo and Addie ready to see who is the fastest burlap sack racer at Bosse Field today. No pressure. All right, our racers look ready. On your mark, get set, go. Bo first and Addie there as well. Give a round of applause for Addie and Bo today for the Chevron Insurance Burlap Sack Race. Remember, they're the one-stop shop for all your commercial, personal, benefits, and financial insurance, creating relationships, finding solutions, and protecting
seats to upgrade to the Ashley Furniture Home Store Best Seats in the House. Our lucky winner will get to spin. The rest of
Frontier
the
League
seats in the house
Baseball
will
on
be
Flow
congratulations
Sports is
to
brought to you
Jessica
by
Flores.
Budweiser,
Jessica
the
Flores.
king of
Today's winner of
beers.
the Ashley Furniture Home Store Best Seats in the House, Jessica
It's
Flores.
never too early for a beer. Fans are enjoying a beer on a beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball and hoping to see the Otters complete their fourth sweep of the season. Braden Scott worked in order, top of the first. He'll face 4, 5, and 6 for Schaumburg in the top of the second. Gage Howard, Coco Figueredo, and Kyle Fitzgerald. Otters are 3-1 this season and opportunities to sweep. This is just their second opportunity to do so, though, since May. Otters had 2 sweeps as part of their 8-game win streak in early May. Since then, just 1 sweep against Windy City here at Bosse right before the All-Star break. And that's the only time the Otters have won the first 2 games of a series since May until this weekend. Scott ready, faces the lefty Howard. Pitchell misses low, 1-0. The Otters have been consistent and almost always winning one of the first 2 games of a series, but almost never losing both or winning both. As Howard takes side 2-0, so the Otters have had very few chances to sweep this season. And who would have expected it after the start to the week? The Otters losing the last 2 games to Florence to drop the series to the struggling Yalls, who were the worst team in the Frontier League in July outside of Empire State. As Howard swings and misses 2-1. Evansville's come from behind last 2 nights. They've only led in 3 innings in this whole series, but have found ways to win. 2-1. Breaking ball on the outside corner, a strike, 2-2 to Howard. Otters bullpen has been lights out, not giving up a run. The offense has put together some big innings, and the starting pitching has been solid for Evansville with Justin Watland last night and Tim Holdgrafer on Friday. Timely clutch hitting as well for the Otters, coming from behind, something they haven't done much this year. 2-2, low, and a full count to Howard. Now trying to complete the sweep. Could move to just 2 games back of Schaumburg for second place in the Frontier League West. It certainly would be a statement sweep as well. Payoff home, popped up high in the air into center field. Myers drifting over towards his left, reaches up the glove and makes the snag. One away in the top of the second. Want to make your lawn and landscape look like a field of dreams? Make sure you use 10 Bars professional brand products. Pick them up at any of our 3 locations, beautifying the communities we live in and the grass we walk and play on, all since 1940. Coco Figueredo stands in for Schaumburg. 1 out and nobody on. A switch hitter who will bat righty against the lefty Braden Scott. No score between the Boomers and the Otters. Scott home. Pitch misses outside, 1-0. Some cloud cover on this Sunday afternoon now, but some light sunshine shining through the light clouds. 1-0, Figueredo shows bunt and pops it up. Back behind home plate and over the roof.
Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
A win today as well for Evansville. Gives them their 40th win of the season. 1-1. Inside and it hit Dawson. He's not happy. He slams down, Figueredo, excuse me. Slams down the bat and he's in some serious pain. Down on his back and holding his right ankle. Got hit, took a few steps down the first base line, threw down the bat in pain, and now really limping as he walks down the first base slide. Samantha Fluck checking the athletic trainer on Figueredo, but now walking towards the first base bag. The Boomers' first base coach, Bill Fredo. Figueredo running it out, trying to just get that stinger out of the ankle. Oh, he's hurt, especially for a hard thrower like Scott. The first base runner aboard for Schaumburg, Figueredo at first, and Kyle Fitzgerald, the first baseman. A ready batter will dig in for Schaumburg. No score here in the top of the second between Evansville and Schaumburg. Scott looks over at first and delivers. Inside corner, a strike, 0-1. Fitzgerald throws, or excuse me, Scott throws, and Fitzgerald swings and misses 0-2. The stuff all three starts for Braden Scott has been impressive. And it feels like if he can find his rhythm, it's a guy that can throw with 6-7 shutout innings with ease. Extremely talented pitcher. 0-2. High, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Guy who's pitched at a lot of high levels, won a Big Ten championship with the Indiana Hoosiers in 2019. 3 years in Bloomington with IU. And then signed by the Blue Jays after 14 starts in 2021 with the Otters. 1-2. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fitzgerald. Bright sunshine peeking back out over the clouds. A sunny Sunday afternoon for baseball. One of my favorite parts of a long baseball season. Something so calming about a sunny Sunday afternoon. 2-2. Popped up right side. Quiggle giving chase. Looking up, and it bounces into the seats. Into the first row, and bouncing back onto the field. Sunday baseball is just a little bit more mellow, but it's relaxing in a way that the other series aren't. And everyone's kind of excited for the end of the long week. You've played 6 games. You're tired. 2-2 coming from Scott. Peeking at first. Pitch home. High and a full count to Fitzgerald. It's also, you play an afternoon game. Everyone can drive home in the sunshine. At least in daylight, and get home and not have ballpark food. You can make yourself your own dinner. For the first time all week. It's very freeing. Magic of a Sunday afternoon baseball game. Payoff home. A high chopper left side. Skinner plays it on a high hop. Bounces off his glove over his head and bouncing into left field. Everyone's safe. A rare error on Ethan Skinner, just his 7th of the season. Puts 2 on for Schaumburg with nobody out. Skinner shifting over to shortstop with Austin Bose playing second this week for the Otters. 6 straight started shortstop for Skinner, but he's been a second baseman almost the whole year for Evansville. 2 on, 1 out for the lefty Brett Milazzo. Scott home. Breaking ball on the outside corner, a strike, 0-1. Skinner's made 52 starts at second base this year. This is 9th start at shortstop. 0-1. Check swing on a ball inside. It just missed. 1-1 to Milazzo. Lefty center fielder. Sitting just under 300 on the season. Has 74 hits, the second most on the Boomers this year. 1-1. Fouled away, back off the screen. 1-2 to Milazzo. Two on, 1 out in the top of the second inning for Schaumburg. No score. Otters going for the sweep, and the Boomers have not been swept in a 3-game series all year. Trying to avoid that fate this afternoon at Bosse. 1-2. Popped up, high in the air, down the right field line. Quiggle looking up, Baez racing over. In the bullpen, it bounces foul into the picnic deck to the right of the Otters bullpen. Brandon, one of the operations interns for the Otters. We've had on the broadcast a couple times. It's last day here at the ballpark. Picks it up and gives it to a young kid. 1-2 coming from Scott. Winds, delivers. Lined into right field, a base hit. Figueredo around third base. He's held up at the last moment. Now he hesitates and will come home as the ball was bobbled in right by Baez, and the Boomers take a 1-0 lead. An error on Baez after the base hit by Milazzo. Jamie Bennett, the Boomers manager, was holding up Figueredo, but Baez dropped the ball in right and allows Figueredo to score and Fitzgerald to go all the way to third base. If he had relayed it in, the Boomers probably would have had someone in a rundown, as Fitzgerald was almost at third base. And Figueredo was about to head back there. But the bobble by Baez allows Figueredo to score. And Fitzgerald to go to third. And now Milazzo's in a rundown at first. Going to throw back to Bosse, who will tag out Milazzo. And Fitzgerald never took off from third, so there's 2 away now and just a runner at third base. Before Scott even threw a pitch to Travis Holt. Milazzo stepped off too early, started taking off, and Scott got him in a rundown. I'm surprised Fitzgerald never decided to try to take off from third and score. Almost started to, and then it's right when Bosse finally reached Milazzo to tag him out. So 2 away now, Fitzgerald at third. And Scott now to face Travis Holt. The Boomers, for the 3rd straight day, have scored first. Pitch home. Sails high for a ball, 1-0. Righty batting third baseman Travis Holt. Pitch home. Just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Boomers scored in the first inning the first 2 days. They score here in the second. Had a 4-0 lead yesterday until the 5th. And held a 2-run lead into the 9th on Friday. 2-0 home. Popped up out of play. The 4-run lead blown by Schaumburg yesterday. It was their biggest blown lead of the season. All the way in game number 70 of 96. After today, 4 weeks left in the regular season. Two-1 to Holt. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Otters will have 25 games left after today. They'll play a doubleheader against Gateway on the final week to make up for a rainout here in June. Boomers will have 25 games left. Schaumburg will only play 95 games this season. The 3-1 coming from Scott. Inside for ball 4. A walk to Holt. Puts runners back on the corners for Schaumburg with 2 outs, and Jonathan Soto coming to the plate. Schaumburg, in their first series out of the All-Star break, went to Hitchliff Stadium in New Jersey and had a bunch of rain that whole series. Boomers lost the first 2 games, and then they couldn't play the 3rd game due to rain, and it won't be made up. That's one of only 2 times Schaumburg's been swept this season. None of them have been in a 3-game series. Soto takes a first pitch strike. The only other sweep was the Boomers lost to Gateway on Monday. It was just a 1-gamer. A little quirk of the schedule. Schaumburg today playing their 14th straight game with a 14th straight day with a game. Finally have an off day tomorrow. 0-1 to Soto. Lined into right field, down for a hit. Fitzgerald scores from third. Holt racing all the way to third base. 2-0 Schaumburg. Jonathan Soto in his first plate appearance of the series lines one to right. And the Boomers off to another excellent start. 5 straight batters have reached for Schaumburg, and Braden Scott frustrated on the mound, cleating at the dirt around the rubber. Max Peterson, the Otters pitching coach, out to talk with the southpaw. 2 hits in the inning, and the Otters 2 fielding mistakes here in the second, not helping out their pitcher. An error by Skinder at short. I had the possibility even to be an ending double play. It probably just would have been 1 out, but it wouldn't have been the second out of the inning. And then Palazzo lining one to right. Otters might have had a play at the plate or able to catch a runner out of position, but Baez dropped the ball. And means that both runs, only one of the 2 runs that have come across for Schaumburg has been earned. Back to the top of the order, and Alec Craig hold at third, Soto at first. Scott throws, high 1-0. Fourth start of the season for Braden Scott, his third at home. Had to exit in the 3rd inning on Tuesday with blisters. Trying to find a rhythm. 1-0. High again, 2 balls and no strikes. Phillips throws down to third. Holt back in safely to the back. Scott's fallen behind another batter here. He does have 5 walks in his first 14 innings pitched. The 3 walks on Florence felt like it was in part due to the blisters. And Ty Unthank, the home plate umpire, talking with Andy McCauley. I think something might have been said from the Otters dugout. And McCauley saying, calm down to Ty Unthank. It's not a big deal. Two-0. Low, 3 balls and no strikes to Craig. A hit batter, a walk, 2 base hits, and an error. Plated 2 runs for Schaumburg in the second. Three-0. At the letters, a strike, 3-1. And a little Bronx cheer from this Bosse Field crowd on a Sunday. Lefty on lefty matchup, Scott to Craig. At the belt, delivery. Outside corner, a strike. And Scott has worked it back from a full count to make it full to Craig. Payoff home. Fouled off the side of the leg of Craig. He stays alive. Soto was going down to second on the pitch. With a full count and 2 outs, no reason not to. Already 41 pitches for Braden Scott, only in the 2nd inning. Otters bullpen that's more well rested after the last couple of days as Craig calls time. See how long Scott can go. Went 93 pitches in his longest outing of the season a couple weeks ago in a win at Lake Erie. Payoff pitch home. Outside for ball 4. Second walk of the inning for Scott. And his third 3 pass loads the bases and brings up Zach Huffins. Hold at third, Soto at second, Craig at first. The righty Zach Huffins digs in. He flew out to center his first time to the plate. Pitch home. On the inside corner, strike to Huffins. Huffins with 3 hits on the series, including 2 base hits on Friday. Chance for the Boomers to get a big lead here in the second. 0-1. Fouled, no, a flare off the end of the bat. It will land fair and then roll foul. Oh, really weird spin off the bat. Off the bat, I thought it might be flying behind home plate. It was a little flare down the first base line and fell on the grass and then quickly kicked to the right before Kona Quiggle at first could get to it. And Huffins lucky that ball didn't get caught up in the air any longer, because if it did, Quiggle probably could have came in and made the catch, which would have ended the inning. 0-2 count to Huffins. Scott Holm. Swing and a miss. Big fastball strikes out Huffins. And the Boomers leave them stranded in the second. They do score 2 for a third straight game. Take an early lead over Evansville. 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Testing our luck today with the Hoosier Lottery Jackpot Toss. As you can see, we have our Hoosier Lottery beach balls held by our honor bells. Once the music starts, they will release them throughout yourselves, and then you pass them throughout yourselves. And whoever is left with a beach ball when the music ends, if you are 18 or older, you are the winner. Let's get that music going, Zane.
Speaking of Hoosiers, only 27 days, Clay, till Hoosier football. I know you're keeping track.
Mark it down the days on my calendar.
I hope to see you back in Bloomington again like I did last fall.
Keep it going. Alrighty, hold on to that ball, and if you've got it, you're 18 or older, congratulations from the Hoosier Lottery and the Evansville Otters. Staff will give you your prize now. Again, remember you must be 18 or older to play and win, and please play responsibly, Zane.
I always will.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, bottom of the second inning. Schaumburg leads Evansville 2-0. Boomers back on the diamond. Hunter Hoops on the mound for Schaumburg. Jonathan Soto making his first start behind home plate for the Boomers. 3 errors committed yesterday by Schaumburg, including 2 on Jeffrey Baez's Little League home run as he went all the way around the bases on 2 errors. Boomers hoping for a better evening or better afternoon on this Sunday. Got an early run support again, taking another 2-0 lead. Conan Quiggled, lefty batter, takes the first pitch strike from Hoops. Hoops flutters the glove and throws. Quiggle chops it foul off the end of the bat, 0-2. Myers led off with a walk in the first, and Hoops then retired the next 3 batters in order. Time is called by Quiggle. Oh, 2. Low and through the legs of Soto, back to the backstop, 1-2. Quiggle 1 for 3 yesterday and was hit by a pitch. One, 2. Lined right side, a hopper into the glove of the second baseman. Figueredo throws to first to be Quiggle by a stride. 1 away. 4-3 ground out for the first out of the top of the second for Hoops, and it brings up Josh Broughton, the third baseman.
Josh Broughton.
Broughton has had quite the week for the Otters. He's really found his bat in his first full homestand at Bosse. First pitch home misses low for a ball. 6 hits on the homestand for Broughton, and even more impressive, he's thrown out 3 runners at home plate this week from the outfield. An electric arm. 1-0 outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And always bringing a lot of color to the diamond. He's got always different colored arm sleeves and gloves and shoes. Today he's got a couple pieces of red apparel. 2-0 inside corner for his strike, 2-1. A red arm sleeve, red gloves for Broughton, and he's got some pretty sweet black and red Nike shoes as well, which really match the gloves and arm sleeves. 2-1, low, 3 balls and 1 strike. He probably bought these before the season as he got ready to play for Tri-City, but I think they still work even with the blue jersey and the white pants. It's a good look. 3-1. Chopped off the end of the bat. And a full count now to Braun. He's bumped up his batting average, hitting .226 now with 12 hits in his first 14 starts. And an RBI base hit in the 8th inning yesterday to give the Otters some insurance. Payoff home, low for ball 4. Braun aboard on a walk. It's his 9th walk already worked this season. A good patient batter. He's aboard at first with 1 out, and Brian Rosario stands to the plate.
Batting 7th, the left fielder, number 12, Brian Rosario.
Switch hitter batting lefty with Braun at first and 1 out in the bottom of the 2nd. Hoops home. Low, 1-0 to Rosario. Rosario had the day off yesterday. Went 0 for 2 on Friday, but did reach base, walked, and was hit. 1-0 home. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1 to Rosario. He's got an 18-game on-base streak now, which is the current longest active streak for any Otter. 1-1, breaking ball inside, and it hit Rosario. Inside of the hand, maybe, on the arm. Rosario really didn't react, not in any pain as he jogs down to first base. Barely got him. So it puts 2 on for the Otters. Braun walked, and Rosario hit by a pitch. Evansville still with no hits in the ball game, a 2 on and 1 out. And Justin Felix, the DH, coming to the plate for the Otters. Righty batter had his first multi-hit game of the season yesterday, going 2 for 4. Hoops peeks back at second, kicks, and throws. Low in the dirt, 1-0 to Felix. Back-to-back starts for Felix, and his 3rd start back off the IL. After 2 months out after breaking his hand. He made his return on Wednesday. After a good evening yesterday, back in the starting lineup for the Otters is the DH, with Phillips back behind the plate as the catcher. 1-0. Inside, almost hit Felix, 2-0. It's a fastball, too. Felix whipped out of the way. That's one that'll really hurt if it catches you. Obviously, Felix hit in the hand as well. Don't want to take chances after breaking his hand. It was a live bullpen session. It wasn't during a game. 2-0. Fastball at the letters, 2-1. Felix shaking his head in disapproval. Andy McCauley, the Otters manager and third base coach, puts his hands on his knees and shakes his head, looking down at the ground. It's been a big strike zone to start the day for Ty Unthink. 2-1. High, 3 balls and 1 strike to Felix. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 2nd, 2-0 lead for Schaumburg. The Otters threatening here in the bottom of the 2nd. A lot of base runners. A slow start to this Sunday game. 3-1. Popped up high in the air by Felix into shallow left field. Shortstop Craig on the edge of the grass, coming back on the dirt, makes the catch. 2 outs. Felix swinging away on a 3-1. Flies out to Craig at short for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 on for Austin Bosse, the 2nd baseman, and the Boomers' Nick Odu is actually their hitting coach, but is the one that typically comes out to chat with the pitchers. Works with catchers a lot as well. We'll come to chat with Hunter Hoops and the rest of the Boomers infield. They're just a little concerned about the command issues for Hoops. He's walked 2 batters, hit a batter, nearly both hit and walked Felix. Hoops has been really solid to start his pro career, but His command, as we mentioned, has been a little bit iffy to start his pro career, with now this the fourth start of the season that he's walked multiple batters. Two on, two out for the righty Austin Bosse, batting ninth today for the Otters. Pitch home. A curveball looping right into the strike zone. 0-1 to Bosse. Went 1 for 4 yesterday. He started the Otters' comeback. Otters would have not won the series if not for Austin Bosse, who had a 2-out, 2-strike solo home run in the ninth inning. The Otters trailing by 2. Braun dancing at second, and Hoop spins around and throws back to second. Braun back in without a tag from the second baseman, Figueredo. Bosse had his first pro career hit earlier in the day. And now 3 hits on the series. Just his 5th game as a professional. 0-1. Inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is SEC versus SEC. 2 guys that just played in the Southeastern Conference this spring. Hoops with Alabama. And Bosse with Texas A&M. The best college baseball conference in the country. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to Bosse. Both of the 2 guys' squads made the NCAA tournament. Aggies were eliminated by Stanford in a regional. Crimson Tide hosted a regional and won it, and then were eliminated by the overall number 1 seed Wake Forest in a super. 1-2 home. Swung on and chopped left side. Glove by the shortstop. Craig on the edge of the dirt. Tosses to second for the force out to retire the side. Hoops works around some command issues. Strands 2 in the second. And Schaumburg leads 2-0 after 2 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
To toss some fish around. With the 10 fish toss, we have Ronan and Evan against Christopher and Torin. All we gotta do is fill up those baskets with the most fish. And the team that does that is our winner. On your mark, get set, toss. Good so far. One more from Orange. Perfect 3 for 3 from both teams. Give it up for Christopher, Torin, Ronan, and Evan with the 10 fish toss. Winners all around today. Back to you, Zane.
Thanks, Clay. Say hello to Prime Foods. They're in left field. Taking in the Evansville Otters home game. Prime Foods, a kid again. In section 17 and 18. Great to have them with us. Over 30. And Key Associates, Signature Realty. With the Corona Extra Patio Decks. All 10 of them. Great to have Key Associates, Signature Realty. Here at Bosse Field on the dog days of summer. Also great to have Aaron Hancock and Colin Davies from our local media covering Evansville Otters baseball. We'll see you at Ellis Park later in the afternoon, Aaron.
Two innings complete on a Sunday afternoon from Bosse Field. Schaumburg leads Evansville 2-0. Time to take a check of the Frontier League standings. Brought to you by Seal Corp. Gateway winning last night extends their lead on Schaumburg to 2 games up in the West. The Otters sit 5 games back of Gateway, solidly in 3rd place in the Frontier League West. Washington is the closest team to the Otters, contending for that 3rd and final playoff spot in the West, but the Wild Things 7.5 games back of the Otters for that final playoff spot. The East continues to be tight. Tri-City with the win last night is a half game up on New Jersey, and Quebec holding the 3rd playoff spot, a game and a half back of the Valley Cats. Chase Dawson leads off for Schaumburg in the 3rd. Lefty takes the first pitch inside for a ball. Little bit of a gap in the East between 3rd place Quebec and Sussex County, who's in 4th. But still a chance for a lot of teams in the East to make the playoffs. Dawson takes one high, 2-0. Ottawa is 7 games back of a playoff spot. It's not out of reach for even the Titans. Sussex County, New York, and Ottawa still chasing for that playoff positioning. So 6 teams still with a shot in the East, while as Dawson takes a strike. 2-1. Washington still with everything to play for, but 7.5 games back of the Otters. Evansville keeps on winning. There's Washington's not going to be able to get even close to the Otters. Dawson takes outside 3-1. But as we've mentioned, Washington and Evansville will play twice in the next 2 weekends. So it's going to be a huge series. The Otters win both. That pretty much seals the deal. If Washington wins, then things could be interesting the last couple weeks of the season. Dawson flies one into left. A few steps back as Rosario reaches up the glove, makes the catch, one away. It's an interesting conundrum, too, for Otters fans of when you're scoreboard watching, who do you root for? It's Gateway playing Washington this weekend, and they'll play again in a couple weeks in Washington. It's a long trip for the Grizzlies. About 8 hours all the way from St. Louis to Washington, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. Otters would like to catch Gateway and still win the division, but they also want to have a drama-free last couple weeks in terms of making the playoffs. It's a pretty breaking ball from Brandon Scott in for a strike to the lefty Gage Howard. Gateway and Washington splitting the first 2 games of their series this weekend. They'll play this evening in Pennsylvania. Howard swings and misses, and Phillips is down behind home plate, crouching down, and I think not sure if either the backswing or if the baseball was just fouled off Phillips' leg. Dr. Mandy Flag out to check on Phillips, and Brandon Scott is pitcher in front of home plate to check on the Otters all-star catcher as well. Phillips taking off his chest protector and still crouching down in some pain. The Otters make some movement in their dugout. They're just getting some water for Phillips. Have to be such a tough guy to play catcher. There's no position that is more demanding and takes more bumps and bruises than being behind the plate. Braden Scott, who was teammates with Phillips back in 2021 when Scott was with the team. Checking on his catcher. Phillips back standing up, putting on the chest protector again, and he'll be able to continue. So Phillips all right and able to continue. It's an 0-2 count to Howard with 1 out and nobody on in the top of the third as the Boomers lead 2-0. Pitch home to Howard. Chopped right side, coming in is Bosse to play on a high hop, gloves it and throws to first in plenty of time to retire to Howard. 2 away in the top of the third. Evansville Otter fans, 2023 brings new opportunities to catch all the latest Frontier League action. Be sure and check out the Frontier League and your Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. 2 outs, nobody on for Coco Figueredo, the second baseman batting righty for Schaumburg. Lefty Scott home, fastball in the outside corner, a strike. Last night's game felt so fast compared to the lengthy games the Otters have played all week. It was 2:28 last night. It was over an hour longer the evening before in the Otters' sudden death victory over Schaumburg. Scott home, swing and a miss by Figueredo, 0-2. Ended a 4-game streak for the Otters. They played 4 straight games over 3 hours. A lot of long, exhausting, and tight baseball. Figueredo steps out of the batter's box, and we'll call time here. Behind 0-2. You know, being at home is less tiring, but all the baseball the Otters had to play and a lot of heat and humidity as well certainly has to be draining. But it would certainly be a huge boost if the Otters can not just get a sweep, but sweep a team in playoff position. 0-2 inside, nearly hit Figueredo on the hands. Shaking his hand like he felt the wind from the baseball. 1-2. Otters have their 3 sweeps, but none of them against current playoff teams, Ottawa, Trois-Rivières, and Windy City. 1-2. High for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Figueredo. Two outs, nobody on in the top of the third. Schaumburg leads 2-0. 2-2 home. At the knees, strike 3 called. Figueredo strikes out looking. A 1-2-3 third. A bounce back inning for Scott and his third German-American Bank strikeout of the afternoon. Move to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Schaumburg on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otters with a quick road trip during the week, but then back at Bosse Field on Friday night. Breast Cancer Awareness Nights. With special jerseys, I'm told by Matthew Will, that will be auctioned off after the game. Tickets for that game still available at EvansvilleOtters.com or during business hours, Monday through Friday. Call 812-435-8686.
A lovely Sunday afternoon for baseball on the banks of the Ohio River in southwest Indiana. Evansville Otters baseball here on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Schaumburg leads Evansville 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the third inning. Griffin Epstein here on the Otters Digital Network and with our partners at Flow Sports as well. Evansville going for the sweep to conclude this 6-game homestand to start the month of August. 4 weeks left in the season after today. Otters will have just one more 6-game homestand. That will be to finish the season, or finish the home part of the season in late August, August 22nd through 27th. Noah Myers will lead off in the bottom of the third inning for the Otters. Top of the order against Hunter Hoops. Evansville still looking for their first hit of the game, though. Hoops has walked 2 batters and hit 1 as well. Stranded 2 on in the second. Hoops home, outside for a ball. One 0. At the knees for a strike. 2-0. Myers worked a walk back in the first inning to lead off. 1-1. Outside corner, a strike. Myers behind 1-2. Myers will call time, reset the batting gloves. Otters are at Windy City to start this week, then back home for that aforementioned big weekend series against Washington. Then Evansville, kind of a tough way to end the season. The last 3 weeks have 2 6-game road trips sandwiched around that 6-game homestand. 1-2, swing and a miss. Myers down on strikes. 1 away. Second strikeout for Hoops of the afternoon. Brings up Ethan Skinder, the shortstop. Hoops with a lot of walks as well. He's already at 36 pitches here in the third inning. Braden Scott's pitch count for the Otters is ratcheted up as well. Could be long days for the bullpens on both sides. First pitch home to the righty, Skinder sails high for a ball. Right down the middle is strike to Skinder, 1-1. Well, 12 of the final 25 for the Otters will either be against Florence or Washington. 6 against Florence. 12 or 6 and 6 as well against Washington. Breaking ball, sails side 2-1. Only intra-division play the rest of the way for all teams across the Frontier League, limiting the travel in the final month of the season for weary bodies. 2-1. Another looping breaking ball misses. 3 balls and 1 strike to Skinner. Otters will not face the team in playoff position after this series until the last week of the season. 3-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Soto, and a full count to Skinner. Otters have 4 against Gateway in the final week, and then we'll play the Boomers here one final time at Wintrust Field over Labor Day weekend to conclude the regular season. I don't know if there's really favorites in any one game in baseball when you have so many games, but series-wise, the Otters should be favorites in all their series played until that last week of the year. Payoff home, fouled straight back. Outside of Washington and Florence, Otters have Windy City this upcoming week, and then we'll have Joliet for a final time in a few weeks here at Bosse Field. Payoff home. A chopper left side, playing it back on a few hops. Edge of the grass is Craig. Long throw to first, just beats Skinner by a toe. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It was a tight play. Craig played it back on the edge of the grass. It was a long throw to just barely get the speedy Skinner. 2 outs, nobody on for Dakota Phillips. Hoops delivers to the lefty. Looping breaking ball misses low, 1-0. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 3rd. Schaumburg leads 2-0. Scored 2 runs on 2 hits in the 2nd inning. As Phillips takes a strike 1-1. Hit batter, error. 2 errors in the inning, in fact, by the Otters. 2 hits and 2 walks, scoring the runs for Schaumburg. Just a messy inning on a variety of fronts for Evansville. The Otters have already come back against Schaumburg the first 2 games. Phillips swings and drives one into right field. Back is Huffins to make the catch and retire the side. Otters go down in order in the 3rd inning. 3 complete. 2-0 Schaumburg leads on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Some flying fish. Now we get some flying pigs with the Hickory Pit Stop Flying Pigs. We have Clayton and Brooks. Ready to see who can fling those pigs the farthest. We'll start with Clayton. Heavy pigs, but he stood up. That's kind of cool. Alrighty, Brooks. Oh, you gotta fling it back. There we go. A flying pig today. Give it up for Brooks and Clayton for the Hickory Pit Stop Flying Pigs. Great job, guys. Back to you, Zane.
Thanks, Clay. Again, $2 hot dogs today. A dog days this summer. 2 more dog days this summer games in 2023's regular calendar year, including 1 week from today, next Sunday. Another dog days this summer, 12:35 first pitch time.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Old National Bank. Your success is everything. 3 innings of baseball completed on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Sun is shining under a few light clouds, low 80s. Not too much humidity compared to yesterday's very humid day. Possibly some rain this evening. It's a perfect afternoon for baseball. And a solid crowd on this Sunday afternoon, enjoying some Otters and Boomers and potentially a preview of a playoff series in September. Otters going for a sweep. Boomers trying to avoid their first 3-game series sweep of the season. Brandon Scott to face 6, 7, and 8 in the Boomers lineup. Fitzgerald, Malazzo, and Holt. Scott home. Fitzgerald takes inside 1-0. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors for Schaumburg, no runs on no hits, and 2 errors for Evansville. 1-0. Popped up and fouled back. 1-1. Fouled away by Fitzgerald. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Fitzgerald reached on a Skinder error back in the second as part of the 2 runs for Schaumburg. 1-2, popped up by Fitzgerald on the infield. First baseman Quiggle on the grass, looking up, drifting towards the mound, and makes the catch a few steps behind the rubber for the first out of the 4th. Scott is settled in now, worked 1, 2, 3, first and third around that shaky second. He's retired 5 in a row. 1 away brings up Brett Milazzo, the center fielder. Lefty batter had a base hit back in that second inning. Scott home. Milazzo shows bunt, pulls it back, and misses outside, 1-0. Scott playing in front of some friends and family again today. Every home start he's had, there's been family members in attendance, some even with custom Scott Otters jerseys. Pretty impressive. 1-0, his line foul down the left field line. Braden Scott is a true Hoosier. Growing up in western Indiana, Jasonville, Greene County, not too far outside of Terre Haute. It's actually exactly 100 miles north of Bosse Field. 1-1. Check swing by Milazzo. Did he go around? No, he held up. 2-1. And he now lives in Clinton, Indiana, which is north of Terre Haute. Went to school for 3 years at Indiana after starting his career at only Central College right across the border in Illinois. Milazzo chops one left side. Braun at third, fields it on the edge of the grass. Short throw across the grass. And time to get Milazzo. 2 away in the 4th. Imagine for Scott's family, it was a little bit more of a trek if they wanted to see him to start the year. They'd have to fly all the way to Vancouver, or in the opposite end of North America, to go watch Scott pitch. Now, just got to drive 100 miles south. Scott home. Holt pops one up into right field. Baez racing in towards the foul line, reaches up and makes the catch. An easy 1-2-3 inning for the Hoosier, Braden Scott. Moved to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Boomers over the Otters on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
It's time to show us your best smiles for the Paramount Dental Smile Camp. Over 300,000 members trust Paramount Dental, based right here in the Hoosier state of Indiana. Paramount Dental, ensuring smiles for more than 37 years. Keep on smiling with Paramount Dental. And be sure to check out Frontier League and the Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe for our Frontier League and Flow Sports content. Good dance move right there. What else do we have on the Paramount Dental Smile Camp? Right fielder, number 33, Jeffrey Baez.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. Jeffrey Baez swings at the first pitch for the Otters. Grounds one to the shortstop, Alex Craig, who throws to first to beat Jeffrey Baez by a few strides. And in the bottom of the fourth, Hunter Hoops has one pitch and one out. Schaumburg leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. One away for Kona Quiggle to come to the plate for the Otters. They're still looking for their first hit. Hoops at 51 pitches here in the bottom of the fourth. Overcast sky now, heavier clouds rolling in before some storms this evening. Pitch home to Quiggle, misses low for a ball, 1-0. Pitch to Quiggle. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Hunter Hoops played at Alabama the last 2 seasons. Mentioned the Crimson Tide had a great year. Seeded in the NCAA tournament, made a run to the Super Regionals, ended up being eliminated by Wake Forest, who would go on to make the national championship game against LSU. As Quiggle takes a strike, 2-1. Such a strange season, though, for Alabama, as their head coach, Brad Bohannon, was fired in the middle of the season. 2-1, sale side, 3 balls and 1 strike. They got caught up in an investigation into suspicious betting activity on Crimson Tide baseball games. Quiggle lines one high in the air to right field. Huffins at the warning track makes the catch. Otters bullpen thought that one had a chance to be gone. They were standing up ready to celebrate, but Huffins circled it down a step from the wall, right down the right field line. Quiggle narrowly misses a homer, 2 away here in the fourth, and it brings up Josh Brock. Braun walked his first time up. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 Schaumburg. Hoops home. Fastball sails high, 1-0. Rob Vaughn is now the new head coach at Alabama, who had a great last few years at the University of Maryland in the Big Ten. Braun takes a strike on the outer third, 1-1. It'll certainly be a good addition to Alabama, but it was really interesting and surprising to see what happened with Brad Bohannon, Alabama baseballs. Braun swings and hammers one into left field. This ball's gone. Josh Braun, his 3rd home run of the season, cuts the lead in half. Otters are on the board, 2-1 Schaumburg. Quiggle missed a home run by a foot. Braun doesn't miss that one, pumping it over the left field wall. Had 2 home runs in his first 3 games at Bosse, and now is back in the home run tally on this balmy Sunday afternoon. 2-1, and it brings up Brian Rosario, who shows bunt, pulls it back, and a fastball at the letters for a strike. First hit of the day for the Otters is a solo home run off the bat of Braun. The Otters trying to come back for a 3rd straight afternoon. Its comeback has started now as Rosario takes a strike at the knees, 0-2. And Hoops steps off as Rosario will call time and reset. Otters have had a solo home run in all 3 games of this series. Now 4 straight games with a home run for the Otters. Promising sign, 0-2. Popped up into left center field. Drifting over Howard, the left fielder, will make the jogging catch and retire the side. Otters get on the board. Josh Braun gives the Otters their first hit and first run of the day on a solo home run to left field. 4 innings complete from Bosse. 2-1, Schaumburg in front on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Let's grab these Evansville Otter bells.
Have you seen Evan the Otter around lately? Make sure you tell him hello when you do. Evan's excited to see up of our fans and encourages you to visit Heritage from your banking needs. Heritage, a proud partner of Evansville Otters baseball. Happy 78th.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. Josh Brunn, a solo home run for the Otters in the bottom of the fourth inning, putting Evansville on the board and cutting the Boomers' lead in half to 2-1 as we go to the top of the fifth inning. Brunn's third home run of the season for Evansville continues his excellent week. Now 7 hits on the week for the new Otter, traded from Tri-City a few weeks ago. The Otters trying to come from behind for a third straight game to complete a sweep of Schaumburg. Braden Scott, southpaw, delivers on the mound to start the fifth. The first pitch strike to Jonathan Soto. Scott has found maybe his best rhythm of the season. He's retired 7 batters in a row after allowing 2 in the second. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Soto. One. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Jonathan Soto. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Schaumburg. 1 run on 1 hit, 2 errors for Evansville. Wind and a throw. Popped up by Soto into left center field. Skinder back, coming in. Myers, it falls in between them. Nobody touched the ball, so it'll be a base hit for Soto. A bloop to left center.
Back to the top of the order. Hoosier Lottery strike
Soto reaches for the first time, for the second time today, and the first Boomer runner to reach since the end of the second inning. Not sure really any Otter had a great run on it, and no one ever called the ball. Myers and Skinder both reached out. I landed right in between them. It was a tough play for Skinder, backpedaling from short, and Myers had a long run into shallow left center. That is no man's land. Back to the top of the order, and Alec Craig, it takes the first pitch strike. Soto at first with nobody out in the top of the fifth. 2-1 Schaumburg leads. Scott delivers. High, 1-1 to Soto. One. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. It's been a big promotions weekend here at Bosse Field with He Is For Everyone night on Friday, celebrating the city of Evansville, and then Saturday, Star Wars night, and the Otters getting wins in both and custom jerseys. Friday was a lot of fun celebrating the city of Evansville. The mayor was here on Friday. A 2-1. Outside corner, a strike to Soto. Can't believe it. 2-2. 1 on, nobody out in the top of the fifth. 2-1 Schaumburg leads and a 2-2 count to Soto. Otters TV went around before the game. They were asking some of the folks waiting in Bosse Field what their favorite thing about Evansville was. There were some interesting answers. Outside of Bosse Field, of course, which is certainly a fair answer to the question. 2-2. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Soto rung up, 1 out. Or Craig, rung up. Strides back to the dugout in a desponding gait and muttering back to Ty Unthank at home. It's the 4th strikeout for Braden Scott. 1 away, and it brings up Zach Huffins, the right fielder.
Free Hoosier Lottery cash fight coupons, courtesy of the Hoosier Lottery. Please play responsibly. Remember, it's just
Huffins
a game.
0 for 2 today with Soto at first and 1 out in the 5th. 2-1 Schaumburg in front. Scott home. Inside corner, a strike, 0-1. Folks had a variety of answers. Their favorite thing about Evansville, whether it was a restaurant or shopping experience or the people. But I heard a story the other day that I thought it encompassed how much people love the city. The 0-1 on the inside corner, a strike to Zach Huffins. There's tours given here at Bosse Field, and Zane Klonfelter, the Otters PA announcer, is an encyclopedia book about the city of Evansville and history of baseball here as well. Giving a tour to a couple. Huffins calls time. And he's telling a story about A League of Their Own, of course, was filmed here in Evansville, Bosse Field in the 90s. And some very well-known actors and actresses in the movie. Madonna, Tom Hanks, Rosie O'Donnell. 0-2 coming to Huffins. The pitch chopped right side. Glove by Bosse. He tosses to second base. Skinder steps on the bag and will eat it there as a good run down the line by Huffins. And Skinder realized he wasn't going to have a play. So 4-6 fielder's choice. 2 outs and brings up Chase Dawson in the 5th. Huffins at first. Lefty Dawson 0 for 2 today. So some press asked Madonna, who was here filming the movie, what she thought about Evansville. And Madonna, who's known to be quite blunt, wasn't actually so kind about the city of Evansville. Her time filming here. And the people of the River City responded strongly as Dawson takes the first pitch inside for a ball 1-0. Actually made a banner condemning Madonna and hung it up a variety of parts of town. And when Madonna would come to film here at Bosse, they would bring the banner to show her their pride for the city of Evansville and their displeasure with Madonna publicly saying she didn't like the town or the people here so much. But that showcased the pride that people have for the River City here, the southwest corner of Indiana. On the other hand, Rosie O'Donnell apparently and Tom Hanks both really enjoyed the city of Evansville. Had nothing but great things to say about the River City. Dawson lines one into right, coming in Baez, and he makes a jogging catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Dawson barreled it up, but hit it right at Baez to retire the side. We move to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1, Schaumburg in front on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
We have now officially reached the center point of the game, and Center Point Energy encourages you to conserve your energy at home so you can save some money. Right now, time to turn up the volume. We've got more runs to score this game. Let's hear it for your Evansville Otters. Gotta get a little louder than that. Let's hear it.
A pitcher's duel on a Sunday afternoon between Schaumburg and Evansville. Otters playing for the sweep this afternoon against the second place Boomers in a matchup of 2nd and 3rd in the Frontier League West with lots of playoff considerations on the line as we enter the final month of the season. Hunter Hoops has been excellent for the Boomers, allowed just 1 hit through 4 innings. It was a solo home run for Josh Broughton. Well, Braden Scott has really settled in after a shaky 2nd inning. Allowed 2 runs, has worked 3 in-order innings, and has allowed just 1 base hit outside of that 2nd inning and limited the Boomers just 2 runs over 5. Justin Felix digs into the right-handed batter's box to face Hunter Hoops. Hoops on the right side of the rubber, comes home. Pitch misses low to Felix, 1-0. Felix popped out to short his first time up to the plate. 1-0 home. At the knees for a strike, 1-1. Felix has some of his family members in attendance today, finally coming off the IL and getting to play again. A couple family members who certainly bared some resemblance to Felix. You could tell they were related. 1-1 inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Felix was wearing his family members, maybe friends too, were wearing Otters custom t-shirts with Felix branded on the back. It's been a great weekend, certainly, to come see their son play. He's had a good weekend, and the Otters have had a great weekend. 2-1, popped up high in the air on the infield. 4 orange jerseys on the grass. Who wants it? It's the second baseman, Figueredo, who reaches up the glove and makes the catch about 5 strides behind the mound. 1 out. For a landscape design that is truly unique, look to locally owned Wild Horticulture. Whether you need a team to design and construct a large-scale landscape project for your business, or looking to create an epic backyard retreat complete with plants, water, and light installation, the experienced team at Wild can take your ideas to the next level. You've likely seen their creative work all over town. Austin Bosse digs in with 1 out and nobody on in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch home from Hoops, breaking ball in for a strike. Wild Horticulture has the skills and resources to deliver inspiring spaces and bring your ideas to life. If you have a project in mind, you can find them on Instagram and at wildspaces.com. 0-1 to Bosse. Right down the middle, 0-2. Oh-2, popped up by Felix and out of play, or Bosse, excuse me. A lot of fans walking around today in the 2 custom jerseys that the Otters had from Friday and Saturday. ES for Everyone jerseys on Friday, Star Wars on Saturday. I even saw a young girl's, here comes the 0-2. Felix hits one high in the air to left, going back, Milazzo, it is out of here! Bosse does it again! His 2nd home run of his pro career ties the game at 2. There's plenty to boast about if you're an Otters fan, because you have Austin Bosse on your team now. A solo blast to left ties the game. Back-to-back innings with a solo blast for Evansville. It's their only 2 hits of the game, but just like that, they've tied it at 2. Noah Myers swings and misses at the first pitch. How about Austin Bosse? 28 home runs over his 4 years with Texas A&M, and he has 2 homers in his young pro career. Hit one off Jake Joyce of Schaumburg on Friday, and one here off Hoops on Sunday. 0-1 is popped up into shallow left. A long run in for Gage Howard. Under the baseball, bobbles it and holds on as he goes down to a knee. Hat flying off his head behind him. 2 outs.
Shortstop, number 1, Ethan Skipper.
Multi-home run game for the Otters. It's their first at home since July 21st against Empire State, and their first of the month of August. 2 outs, nobody on for Ethan Skinder. We're all tied at 2 now in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch home to Skinder. Sails high for a ball, 1-0. The Otters only have 2 hits off Hoops, but they're both home runs. That's enough for a tie game. 1-0, fouled straight back. 1-1. Oh, it's back to the jersey I was talking about. I saw a girl in a Star Wars Otters jersey. Or actually, it was an Is for Everyone jersey. And I don't think they had washed the jersey after it had been at the auction. It was stained with dirt all over. They are game-worn jerseys. The 1-1 misses inside 2-1. So you can kind of wear the jersey proudly, just as the player wore it on the field, with the dirt all over it. It certainly looks authentic. 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. I would advise, though, probably washing the jersey. It's a little sweaty and smelly as someone that spent too much time among dirty baseball jerseys. My past working for baseball teams. The authenticity is nice, but a wash is always welcome Otherwise, the smell will start permeating everything around you. 2-2, a high chopper to the left side, backhanded off a hop by Craig, throw to first, scooped off the ground by Fitzgerald, but not in time. Craig was halfway to the Boomers' dugout, but he has to race back out as Skinder had a similar ground ball back in the third inning, is able to beat the throw this time and keep the inning going in the fifth. Craig made an impressive backhanded play off a nasty hop. His throw was a little short to Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald scooped it off the ground. That short throw was the difference in allowing Skinder to reach first with a infield base hit. Third hit of the game for the Otters puts Skinder at first with 2 outs and brings up Dakota Phillips. Hoops home, inside to Phillips, 1-0. Lefty batter facing the Rennie pitcher Hoops, who's at 78 pitches now in the bottom of the 5th inning. He's allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, and also hit a batter. 1-0. Low, 2-0 to Phillips. Schaumburg only needed 1 arm out of the pen yesterday as Luis Perez went 6 and Dylan Stutzman, the righty, pitched for his 2nd straight night, ended up getting the loss, but he pitched the last 2 innings for Schaumburg. So fresh Boomers bullpen in their 14th straight day with the game. 2-0 inside. 3 balls and no strikes to Phillips. Be a much needed day off tomorrow for the Boomers, that's for certain. .3-0 home. Outside corner, a strike. 3-1 to Phillips. Josh Brodin a homer in the 4th. Austin Bost a homer in the 5th. 2 guys that have just been added to the Otters roster in the last 3 weeks, hitting big home runs. 3-1. Popped up left side, and Holt gives it a look, but it goes well out of play.
And a Griffin brought to you by Heads Construction. She's the best. Never regret it.
Payoff coming to Phillips. Pitch home. Inside for ball 4. Phillips works a walk, the 3rd of the day by Hoops, puts 2 on for the Otters with 2 outs, and brings up Jeffrey Baez. Solo home run in the inning by Bost to tie it, base hit by Skinder, and now Phillips walks. Give the Otters a chance to take the lead. And the Boomers, Nick Odu out to have a chat with Hoops and the Boomers infielders. Baez coming to the plate, who's 0 for 2 today. The go-ahead run for the Otters in scoring position. Braden Scott pitching a gem for the Otters on the other side, has allowed just 1 hit over his last 3 innings of work after allowing 2 in the 2nd. Inning complete on the mound. Baez stepping to the batter's box, and Oops taking a big deep breath behind the mound. At 83 pitches now, his season high is 91 against Ottawa last week. Ready on ready matchup. Hoops home. Strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to Baez. A 1. Chopped off the end of the bat. Foul. 0-2 to Baez. And Hoops a strike away from escaping the jam. Only runs across for the Otters on the long ball. Brandon Bose solo home runs. 2 runs, 3 hits apiece on both sides. Sun shining out on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. 0-2. Looping, breaking ball misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jonathan Soto liked the pitch, nodding to Hoops on the bump. Boomers have stretching in their bullpen. No one throwing just yet. 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Myers had 2 hits on Friday against Schaumburg, hitless yesterday. 2-2, flied foul down the right field line. Is wearing some snazzy sunglasses today. Takes a big deep breath and walks around the periphery of the batter's box. Now stands back in the right-handed batter's box, taps the plate, and awaits the 2-2. Hoops at the belt, peeks back at second, flutters the glove, fires home. Baez pops one up into center field. Coming in Milazzo, routine fly ball, makes the catch to retire the side. Austin Bogues ties the game on a solo home run. The Otters then strand 2 in the 5th. All tied at 2 as we go to the 6th inning on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Like a snack after lunch, it's Jersey Mike's Build Us Up with our very own Otter Bells today. We have Trini at third base and Emma here at first base. All they gotta do, like they always do, spin around the bat 10 times. Then we gotta build those subs, and then once the sub is built, hand it off to our fellow Otter Bell waiting to eat. On your mark, get set, go! Seeing things from the other side today. And Trudy with her sandwich first. Oh, so close here at first base with Emma. Congratulations to both of our contestants today. You know the only way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes, no food coloring. Only way to get it at Jersey Mike's. Authentic ingredients make a sub above. Located at 939 North Burkhart Road in Evansville.
Couple of scores for you. Ottawa leads Empire State 6-2. Florence shutting out Windy City 11-0.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Working Distributors Evansville.
Sussex County at Quebec in Gateway pays a visit.
Beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball at historic Bosse Field, the site of League of Their Own. Field of Dreams is in Iowa. Where am I? So much history every day at the ballpark. Otters have 9 more home games after today, and trying to earn their 4th sweep of the season. With all 4 of them, all the first 3 have all happened here at Bosse. Braden Scott getting ready to work the 6th inning. He will face 4, 5, and 6 in the Schaumburg lineup, with Gage Howard, the left fielder, leading off for the Boomers. Lefty on lefty matchup. Scott fires home, a first pitch strike. Boomers have just 1 base runner since the 2nd inning. A 1. Swing and a miss. Nasty slurve by Scott. Howard way in front of it. Scott at the belt takes a big deep breath on the left side of the rubber. Black glove at the blue belt. Big kick and a throw. Outside, 1-2. Scott started his strikeout strut. He'll face Howard again. 90 pitches now for Braden Scott here in the 6th. 1-2. Outside and hops away from Phillips, 2-2. Season high for Scott is 93 pitches in 6 innings at Lake Erie, so he'll surpass that here today in his 4th start of the season after starting the year with the Vancouver Canadians, where he was a reliever in 8 appearances. 2-2. High chopper, left side, coming in. Skinner to play it on a high hop. Throw to first is in time to beat Howard by a millimeter. That was a tight play. One away in the top of the 6th.
Second baseman, 3, Coco Figueredo.
One away, he'll bring up Coco Figueredo, the second baseman for Schaumburg. And we'll take a look at the Frontier League out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by WJPS 107.1. You can tune in every Monday through Friday morning for the Otters Daily Update with Zane Clotfelter. Tomorrow is Monday. There's 4 evening games in the Frontier League and 4 afternoon games in the Frontier League on this Sunday. As Figueredo takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Florence, the Otters, kick-started the Y'all's resurgence in August. Florence winning the last 2 games of their series here to start the week, 1-0. Fouled straight back, 1-1, and the Y'alls on their way to now sweeping the Thunderbolts. They lead Windy City 11-0. All of a sudden, 4 straight wins for Florence after they had just that horrible July. They only won 5 games in all of July. Already won 4 here in August. 1-1 jump foul off the end of the bat. 1-2. Doesn't mean the Y'alls are suddenly going to be contending for a playoff spot unless they go on a crazy streak. They'll be 10 games back of 500. An impressive turnaround for the Y'alls to start the month of August. Ottawa looking to complete the sweep of Empire State. They lead 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th from Canada. And Lake Erie trying to end their 9-game losing streak. They trailed Joliet, or they are tied, make it with Joliet 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Slammers have been playing some solid baseball for the last couple weeks. 1-2 inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tri-City in New Jersey with first place in the East on the line from Hinchcliffe Stadium at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central in New Jersey. It's the big series of the evening. 2-2. Line by Figueredo into left. Myers diving and makes the catch. Brian Rosario make it in left field with the play. Hard hit ball wasn't too far away from Rosario. He read it on a line and made a sliding catch forward to take one off of the grass. 2 away in the 6th with nobody on brings up Kyle Fitzgerald. So the Otters and the Boomers all tied at 2 in the 6th. Other game that both the Boomers and the Otters will be watching, Gateway and Washington in a nightcap this evening. Series on the line. Fitzgerald takes the first pitch strike. That's your Frontier League out-of-town scoreboard today, brought to you by WJPS 107.1. 0-1. Popped up by Fitzgerald into center field, taking Myers back at the warning track, reaches up and makes the catch as he bounces in to the ivy-covered center field wall. 2 great catches by the Otters outfield. Myers on a dead sprint back, reaches up and makes the catch and collided pretty hard into the ivy-covered wall. Back-to-back great plays by the other Otters infield, and it is the 4th in-order inning for Braden Scott. Move to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 2 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
One more birthday. Mayetta Champion is at the ballpark and celebrating birthday number 84. Mayetta Champion, happy birthday. to dancing. And like beautiful Bosse Field be the venue for your next celebration. Could be Marietta's birthday next year, her 85th. Grand Slam picnics, where you and your guests will receive an exclusive Otters Special Edition hat. If you'd like to be a part of an upcoming Evansville Otters home game, it's simple. Go to EvansvilleOtters.com or call 812-435-8686. And again, happy birthday to Marietta.
Sounds good. I got 3 left.
Back at Bosse Field, all tied at 2 because of Austin Bost. A solo home run for Bost over the left field wall in the bottom of the 5th inning, tying the game at 2 for Evansville. Conequiggle leads off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Otters and takes a first pitch high for a ball. Bost hitting his 2nd professional home run of his career in just his 5th game. What a start for the native of Grove, Texas, as Quiggle hammers one in the air to right. Goodbye, baseball. The Otters take the lead in the 6th on a Quiggle solo home run. Three solo home runs for the Otters, and they've taken the lead in the bottom of the 6th. Quiggle's 9th home run of the season, with 5 of them coming since the All-Star break. Gets the big E chain in the Otters dugout. It's been busy today. The Otters offense carried by the long ball. 3 straight innings with a solo home run. Now it's Josh Braun who swings at the first pitch and pops it up in foul territory. Jonathan Soto chasing after it. It bounces along the fence. The Otters' power has come back this weekend. After a great start out of the All-Star break, the Otters' power slowed down a little bit in back-to-back series losses to New York and Florence. Just 1 home run, and it was in the 9th inning against Florence in the last game. Evansville, 3 home runs today, and now 5 homers in the series. They've all been solo homers as Braun pops one up behind home plate. Soto looking up at the warning track, makes the catch along the screen. 1 away. Leadoff home run for Conequiggle, his 9th of the season, 6 solo, and his first home run since July 23rd. It was, or since July 22nd, make it in the first game of the Honors Series at Lake Erie. 1 out, nobody on, brings up Brian Rosario. Hoops home. Rosario takes inside 1-0. It's tough for Hunter Hoops. He's pitched really well today. Few command issues, but that's not what's cost him. He just left a few pitches over the plate. And with the wind blowing out on a hot day, the Otters making him pay. Rosario takes inside 2-0. Misses outside, 3 balls and no strikes to Rosario. It's 7th game for the Otters with 3 or more home runs. And their first since July 20th against Lake Erie when they hit 3 homers. 3-0. Inside for ball 4. And Rosario has a walk. We'll see how much longer Hoops goes here in the 6th inning. He's at 95 pitches now. A season high. Boomers have a righty warming in the Schaumburg pen. 3-2 lead for the Otters. 3 solo home runs to put Evansville in front. Conequiggle leading off with a solo blast here in the 6th to give the Otters the lead. Evansville has come from behind again for a third straight day to take a lead. Trying to sweep the Boomers. Justin Felix takes the first pitch strike. A great part about the Otters' power is they've been able to see home runs from a lot of different guys. They have 9 different players with a home run since the All-Star break. Felix fouls one off the screen, 0-2. It's not just one guy, as it felt like early in the season for the Otters. Their power was Jeffrey Baez or bust. Baez would have a big series and hit a couple home runs, and then he'd go quiet, and often there went the Otters' offense. But since the All-Star break, the Otters, in now 21 games since the break, have 26 home runs, coming from 9 players. 0-2 outside, down to second goes Rosario. Ball's thrown into center field. Rosario's almost started getting up, but Milazzo charges in to find it. Rosario, though, has another stolen base, his 41st of the season. And it moves him back into a tie for Chase Dawson of Schaumburg for second most bags in the Frontier League. Only trailing Jairus Richards of Gateway. So Rosario in scoring position now with 1 out, 1-2 count to Felix. Hoops home. Oh, he slipped on the mound a little bit, but it's strike 3 anyways. At the knees, 2 away to Felix. A little stumbled as he came home and still delivered a beautiful breaking ball pitch. Now, the Boomers want to make sure Hoops is okay. Kind of stumbled off the mound awkwardly. The Boomers athletic trainer submit the fluck out to check on Hoops. 2 outs in the inning. Rosario at second in the bottom of the 6th. A solo home run by Kona Quiggle, giving the Otters a 3-2 lead. 3 straight innings for the Otters with a solo homer to put Evansville in front. And Austin Bost coming to the plate, who had the solo home run for Evansville back in the 5th inning.
Austin Bost.
Hoops appears to be okay. Everyone back to the dugout for Schaumburg. Hoops hitting 100 pitches now, ready to fire home to Bost. Pitch home. Almost looked like he stumbled again on the mound, but curveball in for a strike on the inner third. Hoops trying to complete 6 innings. Imagine if he gets the last out here, his day will be done. It'd be a back-to-back quality starts for Hoops, but he'd be on the line for a tough luck loss. Pitch home, swing and a miss, 0-2. Time is called by Bost. Reset the batting gloves. Just 4 hits for the Otters today, but 3 of them home runs. Oh, 2. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sun still shining down on beautiful Bosse Field today. Really pleasant Sunday afternoon for baseball. 1-2 home. High, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just under 2 hours played today. The Otters are 9 outs away. Just their second sweep since May, and sweeping the Boomers for the first time since 2019. 2-2. Outside, check swing by Bost, but he held up. And a full count to the rookie. Payoff pitch home. Swing and a miss. Oops, strikes out Bost to end the 6th inning. But the Otters do it again. Back to the long ball. Kona Quiggle, a solo home run to make it 3-2 Evansville through 6 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Get on your feet, make some noise, and go crazy.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. The Otters do it again. Kona Quiggle, a towering shot to left field, gives the Otters a 3-2 lead on a solo home run. 3 homers for the Otters today, and that's all the runs. 3 straight innings with a solo home run. And Evansville 9 outs away from sweeping Schaumburg. Quiggle's 9th homer of the season. Kevin Davis on the mound for the Otters now in the top of the 7th inning. Davis is 17th appearance of the season, or check that, 30th appearance of the season, second most on the Otters, 2.83 ERA for Davis. He's allowed 11 earned runs all season, 54 strikeouts, so just 21 walks in 35 innings pitched. Davis ready on the right side of the rubber to face the lefty pitcher Brett Milazzo. Davis home, fastball outside, 1-0. Davis has been used just once in the homestand against Florence. Pitched 1 and 2. He's been used twice during the homestand. No, he's been used 3 times. There we go. Milazzo fouls it away, 1-1. 3 times Davis has been used in the homestand, and once in this series. An inning pitched against the Boomers on Friday, walked 2 batters, but ended up working a scoreless inning. Otters bullpen has not given up an earned run to Schaumburg this series. 1-1. Swing and a miss on a fastball up, 1-2. Davis is still only allowed 1 earned run here at Bosse Field all year. .39 ERA at home. His walks hits innings pitched, .70. He's been dominant here on his home turf. 1-2. Check swing by Milazzo. Peel to third. He held up, says James Burnell. 2-2. Two and two. Outside, it'll hook out to Milazzo. Otters lead 3-2 in the top of the 7th inning. 3 straight innings with a solo home run. The Otters have erased the 2-0 deficits. Braden Scott's day is done. He's in line for the win and a quality start as well. Payoff, fouled away.
Brought to you by Hetz Construction.
Scott's final line, 6 innings pitched, allowed just 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts on 99 pitches. Payoff home to Milazzo, outside for ball 4. Milazzo leads off with a walk in the 7th. And it brings up Travis Holt, the tying run for Schaumburg, into the right-handed batter's box. Holt is 0 for 1 today, walked back in the 2nd. It was a defensive substitution yesterday after the third baseman for Schaumburg, Will Prater, was hit on the hand by a grounder. Pitch home to Holt, strike on the outer third. Oh, 1 high, 1 ball and 1 strike to Travis Holtz. Or Butler Bulldog, played in state here in Indiana. Butler in Indianapolis. And 2 at-bats yesterday after subbing and a walk. And was out as well in 1 at-bat. And for his first hit of the weekend, didn't play on Friday. 1-1. Fastball right down the middle of strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Holt. 3-2, Otters lead in the top of the 7th inning. Time is called. Holt will call time. Reset himself. Otters used just 2 pitchers last night, James Crick and John Beamer. 1-2 outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crick and Beamer combined over 4 innings pitched to allow just 1 base runner, just 1 hit for the Boomers over the final 4 innings. Otters bullpen that really had to be extended to start the week due to some tough starting pitching circumstances. 2-2, swing and a miss. Holt swings through a fastball, 1 away. If you have a group of friends or coworkers who wish to come to historic Bosse Field and enjoy an Otters home game, contact the Otters front office to reserve a party deck on the Corona Extra Patio Deck. The Corona Extra Patio Deck is one of the best places to watch a game with an all-you-can-eat menu and unlimited bottled water and soft drinks. Call 812-435-8686 for more information on how you can book your next celebration. 1 on, 1 out for the number 9 batter, Jonathan Soto, as Davis spins around to first, and Milazzo slides in safely under a throw. Time is running out to book your Corona Extra Patio Deck before the end of the summer. Just 9 more home games after today for the Otters. Pitch home to Soto, outside 1-0. Phillips looks back Milazzo to first base. Soto from the 9 spot today is 2 for 2. He has 2 of the 3 hits for Schaumburg. 1-0. Lunged and fouled away by Soto. Unfortunately for him, Milazzo was going and got a good jump down to second base. One. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Phillips backhanding it to keep it in front of him. 3-2. Otters lead in the top of the 7th. Trying for their 4th sweep of the year and handing the Boomers their first 3-game sweep all season. Schaumburg has been so steady all year. 2-1. Outside corner, a strike, 2-2. Boomers' longest losing streak is just 3 games. It was their 2-game sweep to New Jersey to start the All-Star break and then a loss to Joliet. Boomers came in really confident. They'd won 9 of their last 10. 9 of their last 11 make it, entering the weekend in 4 straight series. And the Otters have now come from behind 3 straight days. 2-2. High and a full count to Soto. Otters were the opposite. They came in skidding. Lost 4 out of 5 games for the first time all season. They dropped 3 state series. And an embarrassing defeat to Florence. Evansville's turned it around this weekend. Payoff home, outside for ball 4. 2 walks for Davis here in the 7th. Puts 2 on for Schaumburg. On the top of the order, and Alex Craig coming up. Davis did walk 2 against the Boomers in an inning pitched on Friday. And Dakota Phillips walking to the mound to have a quick word with the 6'9" righty. Alec Craig, lefty, walking to the batter's box to face Kevin Davis. The Boomers have the tying run aboard at first here in the 7th. 3-2 lead for Evansville over Schaumburg. First pitch to Craig, misses outside for a ball. Leadoff batter for Schaumburg, 0 for 2. He walked back in the 2nd inning. Shortstop, just 1 hit on the series. All 3 days from the leadoff spot. 1-0. Just missed high. 2 balls and no strike to Craig. And the Otters getting Leone de la Cruz, the lefty all-star reliever, loose in the bullpen. Two 2-0 home. Grounded right side. Bosse Field's on a hop. Tosses to second base. Back to first. Double play. 4-6-3 double play. Bosse to Skinder to Quiggle. Ends the 7th inning. The rookie turns the biggest double play of the week for the Otters. It's time to stretch it, Bosse, as the Otters lead 4-2 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Bud Lights. Bottom 7 from Bosse. The final Sweet Caroline of this 6-game homestand, and the Otters feeling good right now. 3-2 and are 6 outs away from sweeping the Schaumburg Boomers. New pitcher into the ball game for Schaumburg, Jake Joyce here in the 7th inning. Joyce pitched on Friday against the Otters as he fires home. A first pitch outside for a ball. Just looking for a save. Did not go according to plan. Got the first 2 outs, and then Austin Bosse had a solo home run off of him. 1-0. Strike at the letters to Myers, 1-1, and then Brian Rosario would reach and steal a base, advance on 2 wild pitches, and come around to score on Joyce. Applying 2 earned on 2 hits and a walk in an inning pitched against the Otters. Pitch misses outside, 2-1. Veteran pitcher also serves as the Boomers' part-time pitching coach as well. And they hold the lead for the Otters at just 1. 2-1. Flied foul, 2-2. Joyce's 30th appearance of the season, 3.41 ERA and 29 innings pitched. 32 strikeouts to just 15 walks. Veteran, the career strikeouts leader in Boomers history. 2-2. High and a full count to Myers. Otters have scored 3 unanswered on 3 solo home runs in 3 straight innings. Payoff pitch home. High for ball 4. A leadoff walk to Myers. It's his 2nd walk of the day. Brings Ethan Skinder up. Nobody out in the 7th. Otters lead 3-2. Kevin Davis walked 2 batters in the 6th to give Schaumburg their first runner in scoring position since the 2nd inning. But a beautiful 4-6-3 play. Double play turned by Bosse to Skinder to Quiggle to escape the jam. Nobody on, one on and nobody out, I should say, for Ethan Skinder, the righty. Myers takes off, pitches high, throw down to second, nowhere near in time. Myers has another stolen base. Myers took 2 bags on Friday. He had another one yesterday, so now 4 stolen bases on the weekend for Noah Myers. He has 27 on the year, 27 of 28. 1-0 to Skinder. At the knees, a strike, 1-1. Otters have been really aggressive this weekend on the base pass, and it's paid dividends. Put runners in scoring position and gotten them across. Schaumburg with two less experienced catchers in Sonny Oleanu and Jonathan Soto, both only added since the All-Star break. 1-1, popped up by Skinder down the right field line. First baseman Fitzgerald on the edge of the dirt, reaches up and makes the catch head high. 1 out in the 7th. Now, Blake Grant Parks, the Boomers' primary catcher for much of the season, is out with an injury. He's on the IL, veteran longtime catcher for the Boomers, so having to go to two new guys in Oleanu first 2 days. Soto today. 1 out, Myers at second here in the 7th. Otters trying to extend a 3-2 lead. Phillips 0 for 2 today and walked back in the 5th. Joyce steps off at the last moment and launches Myers back to second base. First pitch to Phillips, high for a ball. 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors for Evansville. 2 runs on just 3 hits for Schaumburg and no errors. 2 in the 2nd for the Boomers to take an early lead. And now 3 straight innings with a run apiece for the Otters on solo blasts. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Phillips. So for 2 today with a walk back in the 5th. Phillips has done well with the bat the last few weeks. 12 hits in his last 8 starts, including 5 doubles now. 2-0. Inside on a breaking ball. 3 balls and no strikes to Phillips. Otters trying to hit off Jake Joyce for a second straight outing. Sun has been interspersed with the clouds all day. It's back shining on the diamond for now. A beautiful Sunday afternoon, not too hot or humid. 3-0. On the outside corner, a strike. Phillips had tossed the bat aside. Ready to take his base. Now 3-1. De La Cruz still warming for the Otters. Probably see him in the 8th. Evansville's closer, primary closer, Jake Polancic, not used last night for the save. Would be in line to pitch the 9th. 3-1. Lined hard into right field, down for a hit. Myers is sent from third. Huffen's throw from right field will not be sent home, and Myers scores standing up. Insurance for Evansville to make it 4-2 Otters. RBI base hit for Phillips. It's the first run by the Otters that didn't leave play. And it's 4 straight innings with a run apiece for Evansville. That's just small ball. Myers a walk, steals second, and Phillips gets ahead in a count and finds a way to get a base hit and send home a quick runner with ease. Baez fouls the first pitch straight back. Otters on the verge. Their first sweep of Schaumburg since 2019, their 4th of the season, and just their 2nd since May. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Big breaking ball 0-2. And how about potentially doing it by 3 straight come-from-behind victories, something the Otters have not been very good at this year. Just 11 comeback wins, trailing at any point in the game. 0-2. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. For the Otters' comeback win on Tuesday against Florence, they had gone a whole 2 weeks without a come-from-behind victory. But their first 3 wins of this week have all been in come-from-behind fashion. 1-2, swing and a miss. Breaking ball down in the dirt, 2 away to Baez. 2 outs, Phillips still at first here on the bottom of the 7th. The Otters lead 4-2 And the man walking to the plate, Conan Quiggle, put him in front. A solo home run in the 6th inning to right for Quiggle. Josh Brunton had a solo homer in the 4th. Austin Boast one in the 5th. Conan Quiggle the go-ahead homer in the 6th. And an RBI base hit by Dakota Phillips here in the 7th. Pitch home to Quiggle. Misses inside. Check swing by Kona. He held up. 1-0. Kona has really found his power since the All-Star break with 5 home runs after just 3 through the first half of the season. Had 8 home runs last year with the Sioux Falls Canaries as the 1-0 is chopped to the right side. Softly hit to the second baseman Figueredo. And he will toss to first to retire the side. Otters add another, a run apiece in their last 4 innings. An RBI base hit by Phillips. We go to the 8th, 4-2. Otters over the Boomers on the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
Sumo time. We have our very own Honor Bells, Brooklyn and Tiffany competing against each other today. Going to see who is the best sumo Honor Bell on the field. Great start. We haven't even started, that's the thing. Best 2 out of 3 rounds wins. On your mark, get set, sumo! Can't just run away from a fight. Red wins. Throwing hands in the air. Let's help her up here. Let's get one more round in really quick. We can figure out what planet we're on. All right, round 2. On your mark, get set, sumo. I think we're all winners here after that. Let's give a round of applause.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. We got sumo wrestling today. Some bodies flying on a baseball field. Luckily, it's expected, unlike what happened in Progressive Field in Cleveland yesterday. But here at Bosse Field, the Otters continuing to add to their lead. Dakota Phillips, an RBI base hit to right. Scores Noah Myers, and it's 4-2 Evansville as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Zach Huffins will lead things off for Schaumburg in the top of the 8th against Kevin Davis, who will come out to work a 2nd straight inning. Pitched home to Huffins, inside 1-0. Taylor Cruz still warming in the Otters bullpen. Davis only needed 21 pitches in the 1st inning, but he walked 2 batters and then got a 4-6-3 double play to retire the side. 1-0. High again, 2 balls and no strikes. Might be the first base runner on, and that would bring De La Cruz into the game, but also playing the matchups here. Righty Huffins up, and then after you'll have 2 straight lefties and Dawson and Howard. 2-0. Misses again, 3-0. So most likely either way, I would assume. Davis coming out of this ball game, but they leave in the righty end to face a righty batter for one more batter. Otters lead 4-2 here in the top of the 8th. 6 outs away from a sweep. 3-0. Outside for ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Huffins. Time to take a look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams in the Frontier League, as Max Peterson is going to walk to the mound to see if he chats with Davis, or my prediction takes Davis out of the game. It will be taking Davis out of the game. I think that was happening regardless of the results of the at-bat. Davis didn't have his best command today, walked 3 batters. But he got the 3 outs in the 7th to get the Otters closer to a sweep. And Evansville will bring in the lefty, Leone De La Cruz. We'll keep it here to look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams, for Schaumburg and Evansville. First for the Boomers. They're back home to open up a 6-game homestand after a much-needed off day tomorrow. They'll take on the Slammers in two 6:30 Central Time games on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then a nooner on Thursday to wrap up the series. And then they continue their battle against fellow Chicago area teams with a weekend series at Wintrust Field against Windy City. So 6-game homestand coming up for Schaumburg after their first off day in 14 games. On the other side for Evansville, they'll be off tomorrow, and then they're also headed up to Chicago. They'll be taking on the Thunderbolts for the fourth and final time this season. 3 games at Ozinga Field, all 6:35 starts. They'll all be on Flow Sports and on the Otters Digital Network. And then Evansville is back here at Bosse Field next weekend for a big 3-game series against Washington, who currently sits in 4th place in the West. Leone De La Cruz, the lefty, into the ball game for the Otters with 1 on and nobody out in the 8th. De La Cruz, the all-star lefty for Evansville, making his 30th appearance of the season. 2.30 ERA for De La Cruz and 31 in the 3rd innings pitched. He has 50 strikeouts to just 14 walks and 8 earned runs allowed. His last outing was against the Boomers on Friday. He pitched 2 innings, allowed just 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk. 1 run did come across the tab of De La Cruz, but it was unearned. His 3rd appearance of this homestand worked a scoreless inning against New York. He'll face 2 lefties to start off, with Chase Dawson, the lefty DH, digging in. Huffins at first with nobody out in the 8th. The Otters lead 4-2. De La Cruz home. Pitch sails high, 1-0 to Dawson. The all-star Chase Dawson DHing today, 0 for 3, 2 flyouts and a strikeout. One 0 home. Slider at the letters for a strike, 1-1. Dawson turns around and says, wow. It's been a big strike zone today for Tyon Fink on a Sunday afternoon. I think the strike zone's always a little bit bigger on a Sunday. Just subconsciously, you're going to want to leave the ballpark a little bit earlier. 1-1. Beautiful front door slider in for a strike. That's just impossible to hit. That's why the Otters wait to bring De La Cruz in to face a couple lefties. De La Cruz peeking over the glove at the sign from Phillips. Sets at the belt and delivers. Line down the right field line, hooking foul. Bouncing into the Otters bullpen. 4-2 lead for the Otters in the top of the 8th. They've scored 4 unanswered. That feels a little bit similar to last night. The Otters had to come from a 4-0 deficit last night and scored 6 unanswered. They've done it again today, though today's been by the long ball. 3 solo homers. 1-2. Popped up off the end of the bat in shallow center, taking Skinner back on the edge of the grass, reaches up the glove, and makes the catch. 1 away. So 1 out, Huffins at first, and it brings up Gage Howard, another All-Star. All-Star reserve outfielder, 0 for 3 today. And Howard is going to be pinch hit for. Boomers instead want to bring up a ready to face De La Cruz. They'll bring in Sonny Ulianu, the Boomers catcher the first 2 days. He's 1 for 8 on the series with a batting average at .310. First pitch home to Ulianu is high for a ball. Figueredo on deck's a switch hitter, so he can also bat ready against De La Cruz. Runner at first with 1 out in the top of the 8th. 4-2 Otters lead, 5 outs away from a sweep. 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Leone at the belt. On the left side of the rubber, kicks, delivers. Driven into left field, taking Rosario back and makes the jogging catch. 2 outs. Ulianu flies out. Back-to-back outs to start the afternoon for De La Cruz. Brings up Coco Figueredo, the second baseman. Switch hitter, to assume about righty here against the lefty De La Cruz. Schaumburg has not scored since the second inning when they had 2 runs, and they have just 1 hit since the second. Soto had a base hit back in the 5th. Otters bullpen has not allowed an earned run to the Boomers all weekend. After a rough last couple of weeks for the Otters bullpen, they have thrived this weekend. Pitch home to Figueredo, bounces off the end of the bat, dribbler down the first base line, picked up by De La Cruz. The underhand tosses to first. It beats Figueredo, and the side is retired. Just a check swing by the second baseman, but it bounced off his glove, and De La Cruz enters and works a 1-2-3 inning for the Otters. Move to the bottom of the 8th. The Otters 3 outs away from a sweep. They lead 4-2 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
And if that legend wins, that row wins as well. Legends, on your marks, get set, go! Very strong race to start us off. Benjamin Bosse with a lead, followed by, crash and burn for William Henry Harrison. Rights up in second. It's a tough day to be a legend, but not for Benjamin Bosse with the win. Rights to the follow, and winning our hearts, William Henry Harrison. Great job. If your row was Benjamin Bosse, you are a winner as well. Congratulations.
Schaumburg from the bullpen. Christian Lopez into pitch. Battery powered by The Answer. Auto Repair East 2319. North Converoni 12475 9000. Liliana staying in the game at first. Kyle Fitzgerald is now in left field. Third baseman, number 8, Josh Broughton.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, bottom of the 8th inning. Otters lead the Boomers 4-2 here on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Josh Broughton leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Otters. New pitcher into the game is Christian Lopez. The righty fires home. Broughton pops one up down the first base line. Juliano is the new first baseman, and he makes a running catch. Now right in, fresh into the game after pitch hitting it in the top half of the inning, and he makes a nice running catch along the warning track. Sonny Juliano taking Kyle Fitzgerald's place at first place, and Fitzgerald replacing Gage Howard, who was pitch hit for out in left field. Quick out for Schaumburg and Lopez, and it brings up Brian Rosario. Otters lead, make it 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jake Polancic, the Otters closer, warming in the bullpen. Lopez home. Ready as a first pitch strike to Rosario. Lopez pitched on Friday for Schaumburg. An inning pitched and did not allow a base runner with 1 strikeout. Black glove at a high set up near the chest, delivers. Looping breaking ball misses. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rosario. Switch hitter batting lefty. 4 straight innings for the Otters with a run apiece. They have a 4-2 lead. 1-1. Grounded up the middle to the right. The second baseman Figueredo gloves it. Throw to first. In time to beat Rosario. Rosie just can't beat it out. Good play by Figueredo. Almost the second base bag by the time he got to the ball. 2 quick outs for Lopez here in the second inning. Justin Felix, Otters DH, comes to the plate with 2 outs to nobody on here for Evansville. 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Boomers will have 6, 7, and 8 coming up in the 9th. Felix takes outside for a ball. Fitzgerald, Milazzo, and Holt coming up in the 9th inning. Only Milazzo has a hit today out of those 3. The Boomers still just have 3 hits today and 2 runs. 1-0. Inside corner, called a strike, 1-1. 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for Evansville, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors for Schaumburg. 1-1. Pulled outside into the left-handed batter's box. 2 balls and 1 strike to Felix. Otters 3 outs away from their 4th sweep of the season, their 40th win, and they move just 2 back of Schaumburg for 2nd place in the West. And for the time being, 4.5 back of Gateway for 1st. 2-1, outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Especially the Otters like that they're getting closer to 2nd place, and if you finish 2nd instead of 3rd, you're in yourself a home game in the wild card game, which is huge. They're also helping out the Grizzlies as well. 3-1. The inside corner is strike and a full count to Felix. Schaumburg has not been swept in a 3-game series all year, and this certainly was not the time to do it for the Boomers. Trying to fight the Grizzlies to win the division, but the Otters, they can hold on to win today, certainly have put themselves back in the divisional picture with 25 games left to play, 4 weeks, giving themselves a shot to still win the Frontier League West for the first time since 2019. Payoff home. Misses low for ball 4. Felix aboard today with a walk. He extends his on-base streak. Felix has now reached in all 10 games he has played this season. Bring up Austin Bose for his 4th plate appearance with Felix at first and 2 outs. Bose 1 for 3 today with a solo home run in the 5th, his 2nd career home run. Broughton started the scoring with a solo homer in the 4th, Bose a solo home run in the 5th to tie it, Quiggle a solo homer in the 6th to go ahead. Dakota Phillips at an RBI base in the 7th to add some insurance, and that's how it's 4-2 Evansville in the bottom of the 8th. Lopez home. Outside, 1-0 to Bost. Jake Polancic is ready in the Otters bullpen, Evansville's closer. Pitch home. Popped up into right field, long run in for Huffins. He dives and makes the catch. What a play by Zach Huffins, leaping forward and ending up somehow on his back as he holds on to the baseball to rob Bost of a base hit. Time for the 9th inning. The Otters closer, Jake Polancic, coming in. Otters are 3 outs away from a sweep of Schaumburg. We'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
This is his favorite song. All right, keep a close eye, Holy Moly. Is he in 1, 2, or 3? Shout it out. Number 3, great job. Running all the 3s out there. Thank you for playing. It's the Holy Moly Shuffle, brought to you by Indiana 811, a free service that can prevent costly damages to underground utilities. Know what's below. Call 811 or visit 811now.com. At least 2 full working days before every digging project, no matter how large or small.
Call the bullpen.
3 outs away from a sweep. The Otters lead the Boomers 4-2 as we go to the top of the 9th inning from Bosse Field. Evansville's closer, Jake Polancic, into the game, looking for his 11th save of the season. Polancic, a sparkling 1.90 ERA on the season in 23 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed just 5 earned runs, 36 strikeouts to 13 walks in those 23 innings pitched. Polancic worked 2 innings on Friday against Schaumburg, the 10th inning in sudden death a 10th inning and extra innings, and then won the game for the Otters, getting 3 outs in the sudden death playoff. He will face 6, 7, and 8 for Schaumburg here in the bottom or the top of the 9th making. Kyle Fitzgerald, righty, leads off and takes a first pitch strike. 4-2 Otters lead, 3 outs away from their 4th sweep of the season and their first sweep of Schaumburg since 2019. Oh, 1 home. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. To the displeasure of Otters Vice President Joel Panfield, right behind home plate, shaking his head. He had a great look at it, right behind home plate. It basically the same view as the home plate umpire. Fitzgerald pops up the 1-1 into center. Back is Myers under the baseball, makes the catch, 1 away, and the Otters 2 outs away.
Center fielder.
Fitzgerald flies out. It brings up Brett Milazzo, the lefty center fielder. He's 1 for 2 today. Base hit in the 2-run second for the Boomers and walked in the 7th. Schaumburg still only 3 hits today. They're 2 runs both in the 2nd. Polancic home. Milazzo taking all the way. A strike on the inner third. Otters bullpen trying to complete 4 straight games actually, without allowing an earned run, and all 3 in the Schaumburg series. A 1 inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Otters bullpen entered today with 8 2/3 straight scoreless, dating back to Thursday's game. Scoreless in terms of not allowing an earned run. 1-1. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Otters pitching staff trying to make it a great homestand, too, and make it all 6 games in this homestand that they limited opponents to 5 runs or less. Not easy against 2 pretty good offenses, Florence and Schaumburg. 2-1 inside, 3-1 to Milazzo. Boomers have a ready warming just in case. The 3-1 pitch. Inside for ball 4. Second walk of the day for Milazzo, and it will bring the tying run to the plate for Schaumburg and Travis Holtz. 1 on, 1 out in the top of the 9th. Otters lead 4-2. Holt is 0 for 2 today. He walked back in the 2nd inning. Polancic comes home. Popped up by Holt into center field, taking Myers back, circling under the baseball, and makes the catch a few shy of the track. And the Otters are 1 out away from a sweep of Schaumburg. Boomers will pitch hit here. Blake Berry, who hasn't played since Friday here at Bosse Field, will pinch hit for Jonathan Soto. Berry's been one of the top bats this season for Schaumburg with a .305 batting average. 1 for 4 on Friday with 2 walks. Lefty batter to face the righty Polancic as the last hope here for the Boomers this weekend. Schaumburg trying to avoid being swept in a 3-game series for the first time all season. Polancic home. Berry takes a strike at the knees. Milazzo at first with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. 4-2 Otters lead. A 1 home. Line down the right field line, hooking foul. Into the Otters bullpen, 0-2. And Polancic and the Otters a strike away from a sweep. And time is called. Baez ran all the way over to go get the ball out of play. And now Berry and Polancic ready. Polancic on the right side of the rubber, working out of the stretch, looking in for the sign from Dakota Phillips. Peeks over at first and sets at the bats. Kicks and throws. Swing and a miss. The Otters sweep Schaumburg. A 4-2 victory on a Sunday afternoon, and a statement sweep of the Boomers puts the Otters back in the Frontier League West divisional race. What a weekend for Evansville. 3 come from behind victories. They came from behind in the 9th inning on Friday. They came from behind from a 4-0 deficit yesterday, and today it was from a 2-0 deficit to earn the win over Schaumburg and complete almost certainly the most impressive weekend of the season for Evansville. Their 4th sweep of the year, all here at Bosse, but their first sweep against the team currently in the playoff picture. Evansville moves to just 2 games back of Schaumburg for 2nd place in the West, 4.5 back of Gateway for 1st. An Otters team that was searching for answers entering the weekend, losing 4 of their last 5, suddenly goes into the final 4 weeks of the season brimming with confidence in all aspects of their game. It was all about the long ball today for the Otters offense. They hit 3 home runs, 3 solo home runs. Josh Brodin had a solo blast in the 4th. Austin Bose tied the game with a solo home run in the 5th. And Kona Quiggle finishes with the go-ahead home run in the 6th inning. Otters would add 1 more as Dakota Phillips had an RBI base hit to score Noah Myers and make it a 4-2 lead. Otters pitching, though, what a performance all weekend. They really limited the Schaumburg bats when needed, and today especially dominant. The Boomers finished with just 3 hits and 2 runs. Schaumburg had just 1 hit after their 2-run 2nd inning, and the Otters bats coming from behind to secure the victory. Braden Scott earns his 2nd win of the season. He went 6 innings, allowing just 3 hits and 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts to 2 walks. Kevin Davis, Leone De La Cruz pitched an inning apiece scoreless, and then it was Jake Polancic who got his 11th save of the season to give the Otters the win. Final totals: 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for Evansville, 2 runs on 3 hits, and no errors for Schaumburg. The Otters have win number 40. They improved to 40-31 on the season and tie their high water mark of the year, 9 games over 500. Schaumburg, their first time they've been swept in a 3-game series all season. They fall to 42-29, and it ties the Boomers' longest losing streak of the year at 3 games. The Boomers' 4-game series winning streak comes to an end here at Bosse Field. These teams will play again final weekend of the year on Labor Day weekend. Upcoming, Schaumburg back home on Tuesday. They will have a 3-game series with Joliet, and the Otters will also be up in Chicago on the road at Windy City. We'll be on the road at Ozinga Field on Tuesday. It's a 6:35 scheduled first pitch. You can join us either here on the Otters Digital Network or on Flow Sports. 6:35 first pitches, all 3 games. We hope you join us then. Otters, a statement sweep today of Schaumburg as they win 4-2 for their 4th sweep of the season. For our entire excellent Flow Sports team and our Otters Digital Network crew, our excellent director and former communications director here at Bosse Field, Preston Leidenbach, I'm Griffin Epstein, wishing you a great rest of your Sunday afternoon. The Otters sweep Schaumburg, the final score today, 4-2. So long from Bosse Field.